What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Game Night YouTube channel. In today's video, guys, we are going to be doing a playthrough of Tin Helm by Jason Glover. It is a perilous solo micro quest in this tiny little mint tin box right here. So I've got everything laid out on the table right here, guys. I got the nice little Tin Helm mat to keep everything organized. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. So guys, Tin Helm is a dungeon crawler game. So we're going to be venturing into a dungeon, and I'll give you the synopsis. It says on the back of the tin, "The Brotherhood of the Red Cloth long made their home deep in the abandoned mines of the Black Mountains. But a sickness came upon them as they delved too deep, and their minds have been twisted and their attention has shifted to creating wicked evils. Darkness now lives here, and only a true hero can cure the madness that has consumed all." So we are down in this darkness with these crazy people and all their abominations and creatures and stuff down here, and we're trying to clean this place out, guys. So maybe pick up some loot and stuff along the way. So we're trying to make it through the dungeon, and we're trying to find 3 shards, which are these little pieces over here. So there are 3 shards we're looking for. Once we acquire all 3 of these shards, we win the game. If we lose all of our health, we lose the game and we're dead. Also, if we make it all the way to level 5 of the dungeon, which you keep track with this little meeple right here as you move through the different levels of the dungeon, if we make it to level 5 and we exhaust the dungeon deck here, we go mad and we basically just go crazy down there and we're lost in the dungeon forever. So we definitely don't want that to happen. So we're starting on level 1, and I have not picked my character yet. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pick a character. So we've got these 6 cards here. The base game comes with 4, but I bought Dust Runner and Gates. I believe it was Gates that came with the extra cards. So it added the half orc and the half folk. So we have 2 extra dudes to pick from here. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these up. I'm going to look away. And what is this one? The Crawling. Okay, so we're playing as a Crawling. That's going to be our race. And I'm going to shuffle these up again. And we're going to do, what is this one? The Skull Keeper. Okay, cool. So it says, "Your fever continues to rise as blood pumps furiously through your veins. Must collect more skulls." So that is our class. We are a Crawling Skull Keeper. And I'll put the rest of the cards right there underneath the Crawling. So the Crawling says, once per dungeon level, while in combat, the Crawling may flip a single die to the reverse side when determining damage. Interesting. Okay, so we'll keep that in mind. So once per level while in combat. Cool. So the Crawling starts with 8 health, and then since he's a Skull Keeper, he gets an additional 5 health. So we have 13 health. So we'll put our little red cube on the 13 marker right there on our health marker. He starts with 8 energy, and since we are the Skull Keeper, he gets an additional 3. So we get 11 energy. So we'll put this little green cube on the 11 on the energy marker. He starts with 0 rations. 0. So we'll take our little blue cube down here and set it below the 1. We have none. No rations at all whatsoever. And when we spend energy, if we spend 1 energy, he's going to do 3 extra damage. If we spend 2 energy, he does 4 extra damage. And if we spend 3 energy, he does 6 extra damage. So 3, 4, and 6, depending on how much energy we spend. And he starts with a potion and the cutlass. So we have our little trappings right here. He starts with a potion, which says that you may discard this card from play to gain 2 health and 2 energy. So we'll hang on to that. And he also starts with the cutlass right here. So the cutlass says, when in combat against an enemy that is not undead, you may inflict an additional 1 damage on successful hits. So against enemies that are not undead, we do 1 extra damage. And so you guys know, we'll take a look at the enemies. If the enemies have a little skull symbol in the bottom right corner, that means they're undead. If they don't, like this one, that means they're not undead. So against the Watcher, for instance, we would do +1 damage with the cutlass when we attack them. So we got the little enemy deck right here. We also have a loot deck over here. And then we have the dungeon deck right here, which we need to shuffle up. I'm going to avert my eyes here. Get this all shuffled. And boom. What do we start with? Okay, so we're starting with the sewers. So the way Tin Helm works is it's like a push your luck game, similar to Iron Helm in a way. So you're going to decide, do we want to go into the sewers? In the sewers, it's going to show you right here. There's going to be a trap, a campsite, and potentially food to find. The little water drops denote that there's food to find. Whenever there's food, you roll 1d6, and if you roll a 5 or a 6, you gain 1 ration over here on your little ration meter. So that's what that's for. If there's a campsite, you can decide if you want to rest or search. If you search, you gain 1 food. If you rest, you gain 2 health and 1 energy back. Okay, so since we don't need any of that stuff right now and there's a trap, I think I'm going to skip it. So this is what happens. We would say, okay, we're going to skip the sewers. So you would take the sewers card, flip it over to its reverse side, set it aside, and then we're moving into whatever the next card is, which is the grotto. So we have to go into the grotto. So there's a question mark, so there's going to be a random event. Then there's food, and then there's a campsite. So we're getting food or a campsite either way. So, okay. So the random event, you look at the back of this card to see. It's the Pigman. Okay, so we're going to check these cards over here for the Pigman, and here he is. Cute little looking, friendly looking Pigman right there. It says, you may allow the Pigman to place a blessing on you, gaining 1 favor, or you may trade a turnip with the Pigman for 1 shard. Well, we don't have any turnips. That would be amazing. We could get a shard from the Pigman, and remember, when we get all 3 shards, we win the game. We don't have a turnip, so we're just going to let the Pigman bless us. So he's hanging out in the grotto, be like, dude, bless me, bro. So he gives us a blessing, and we get 1 favor, and that is tracked by this little white cube over here on the favor meter. We now have 1 favor, and you'll see how that comes into play. We can spend favor for different things, especially at the altar. You'll see when we get there. Now we have the grotto also has food to find, and you know what? We do need food, so this is good. So let's go ahead and roll. If we get a 5 or a 6, we find food. We got a 5, bro. Let's go. So we get 1 ration, and then there's a campsite. We have full health and full energy, so we don't need to rest. We're going to search for food and gain another one. So heck yeah, dude. The Pigman and a bunch of food in the grotto. Let's go. That turned out pretty well. Okay, now we can go into the quarters. There's going to be an enemy and a chest. Let's do it. I want to see what's in there. So we're going to take this card, put it face up here, and then flip the next card over. So we're fighting a Skelipede. All right, so we're going to grab the enemy deck here. We're going to find the Skelipede. There he is. And the way this works is you add up the health plus the level of the dungeon you're on. So we're on level 1, so he's got 3 plus 1. He's got 4 health, and we'll keep track of that over that way. He does 0 extra damage. He's got 1 armor, so he'll mitigate 1 damage, and he gives us 1 favor when we defeat him. And he also says the Skelipede does not miss when he attacks. He always rerolls doubles. So normally when you roll doubles in this game, you miss, even for you. That's the way combat works. So just a quick little rundown. When you attack or when the enemies attack, you subtract the lower number from the higher number, and that's how much damage you do. But when and if you roll doubles, you miss. But when the Skelipede rolls doubles, he doesn't miss. He gets to attack again. So that's pretty bad for us. But we get to attack first always in this game unless it says otherwise on the enemy card. So since he's got 4 health, and he's undead, so we're not going to get the +1 from the cutlass, unfortunately. I'm going to spend 1 energy, and since we are a Skull Keeper, that means we get +3 to our damage on whatever we roll since we spent the 1 energy. So we just need to roll 1 or better. Oh, and we rolled doubles, which means we miss. We whiffed, dude. So now the Skull Keeper gets to retaliate. Yikes. Let's see what he gets. He rolls 6 minus 3 is 3, so we're going to take 3 damage and go down to 10. Let's try this again. I'm going to spend an energy. We're doing... Oops, I dropped my dice. Grab that real quick. We're doing 3, but he also has the shield, so that means that we're doing 2, actually. So we're actually doing 2 extra damage. Okay, so 5 minus 4 is 1, plus the 2 is 3. So he's down to 1 HP. He's going to retaliate here. He does 3 minus 1 is 2. Dang, dude, he's putting a whooping on us. So he's done 5 damage total. We're at 8. And now, much like in Iron Helm, if you're familiar with that game, you have a punch attack in this game where you could spend no energy and you could deal 1 damage, and the shields, their armor, is not taken into account. So we're going to deal 1 damage to knock out the Skelipede, and we're going to get 1 favor, moving us up to 2. And now we get our loot from the quarters, which is the symbol. So let's go ahead and look through the loot deck here, and we get the symbol. There it is right there. So the symbol says, when at the altar, which is one of these places over here, there's the altar right there. So when we're at the altar, since we have the symbol, you may gain the reward 1 level higher than what your favor would otherwise indicate. So when you go to the altar, depending on how much favor you have, you're going to get particular rewards. But with the symbol, we'll get to get the next reward higher than the one that we get depending on how much favor we have. So that is pretty useful right there. All right, guys, let's venture forth. So we got the statue room. It's got a trap and a loot. I want loot, so we're going to go in. Let's see what we've got in there. There's a trap that does 2 damage to us. Yikes. And there's a loot, and it says random. So we're going to get a random loot from the loot deck here. Let's shuffle these up. I'll draw one out at random. Let's get this one. And we get the wedge. You may discard this card to avoid combat with an enemy. So it's like a door wedge. We can stick that under the door and lock them in to avoid combat with them. So that's going to come in handy for sure. All right, let's move on. We got the corridor. It's got a trap and random. I don't want to do that, so we're going to skip it and move into the next room, which is the old well. Who's hanging up on the well? A spider. So there is a spider hanging out in here by the well. Spider's got 3 base health, +1 for the dungeon level. He's got 4 health. He's got 1 extra attack, no armor. He gives 1 favor, and you lose 1 energy every time the spider successfully hits during combat. So we just need to not get hit during combat, basically. So he is also not undead, so our cutlass does +1. So I'm going to spend 1 energy, so we're doing 3 + 1 is 4. And let's go ahead and roll. We just need to not roll doubles, dudes. Yes, there we go. So 4 - 1 is 3, + 4 is 7. We crushed the spider. We get +1 favor, moving us up to 3. And we can look for food in here since there's a little water drop symbol. And we did not find any, unfortunately. Moving on, we're going to skip the chasm. I don't want to fight that lone enemy. Into the stash. And unfortunately, it's empty. Somebody's already been here and looted the stash. The sanctum. A trap and a monster. We are going to skip that and move into the waterfall room. And there's a random encounter with a doom skull. Okay. So we're going to grab a doom skull. These dudes are kind of nasty because they get to attack first, unfortunately. So he's got 4 base health plus the 1 from the dungeon level brings him up to 5. He's got no extra attack, no armor. He grants 1 favor. And like I said, the doom skull always attacks first. Do we want to wedge? We are pretty low on health. You know what? I think I'm going to use the door wedge, and we're going to lock that dude in the room. And we're going to skip that altogether. No thank you. Okay, and then we get food here. So let's look for food. And we did not find any, unfortunately. Next up is the catacombs. I'm going to skip it. Skipping a lot of rooms into the kitchen. There's a skelepede in the kitchen. And there's also a camp in the kitchen. So we're going to be able to potentially get some food in there too. But first of all, we got the skelepede. He's got 4 health. He doesn't miss. They always re-roll doubles. He's got that 1 shield. And he's undead. I think I'm going to spend 2, and we're going to do 4 extra damage, but he's got the shield, so we're doing 3 damage. Plus 2 - 1 is 1, plus the 3 is 4, and he's got 4 health, so he is done. We gain 1 favor, and we go to the campsite. I'm going to rest, so we're going to gain 2 health right there, and 1 energy right there. Okay, cool. Now, we have reached the end of that level of the dungeon, and 2 things happen. We need to eat a ration, we need to move up 1 on the track, and then we need to shuffle the deck. So actually 3 things. Those are the 3 things you do every time. You have to eat 1 ration, you move up your little meeple 1 on the dungeon track, and then you have to shuffle up the dungeon deck. And boom, let's see what we got. The statue room. Well, there is treasure in there, so I do want to go. So we're going to go ahead and go into that room. There's also a trap. Ooh, that does 2 damage. Man, there goes the nap we just took at the campsite there. Rip. And there is a treasure chest of a potion loot. Hey, okay. Well, check it out, dudes. We get the potion, and just like the potion that we start with, we can discard this card from play to gain 2 health and 2 energy. So I'm going to do that. Also, when you discard those things, they do go back into the loot deck so that you can find them once again. I checked that rule online just for my own peace of mind, because I wasn't sure if you had to remove them completely from the game, but from what I saw, you put them back in the loot deck so that you can find them again. So we chug that potion, we gain 2 health, and we also gain 2 energy. So we're at 9 energy, and we're at 8 health right there. Okay, cool. That was the statue room. The Lost Tomb. There is treasure in there, but there's a trap and a monster. Do we want to go? I don't think so. I think I'm going to skip it. I'm going to skip that, and we're going to go into the old well, and there's a monster, a random encounter with a monster in there. So let's go ahead and shuffle up the enemy deck, and we'll draw one out here. What do we get? Ooh, a wraith. Okay, so we got the wraith. We're now on level 2, so he's going to add 2 to his health, so he's got 7 health. Enemies are getting a bit stronger. He does 1 extra damage to his roll, no armor. He's worth 2 favor. And it says you lose 1 favor every time the Wraith successfully hits during combat. And he's undead, so our Cutlass isn't going to help out here. All right. I'm going to spend... Let's see. He's got 7 health. I'm going to spend 1, 2, 3 energy, and we're going to do +6 to him here. He's got no armor, so we're doing +6 to our roll. So we're doing 6 minus 3 is 3 plus 6 is 9. So we did take him down, thankfully. We're going to gain 2 favor, moving up to 5 favor on the favor track there. And we get to search for food because of the little water drop symbol. And we don't find any. We're getting kind of unlucky with that. At least we found some in the beginning, early on. Okay, so that was the old well. The kitchen, I do want to go there because I want to go to that campsite and potentially heal up. And we've got dark rats in the kitchen. Who would have thought, man? Rats crawling around in the kitchen. Here we go. Must have been some food left over in this dingy, dark dungeon down here in their kitchen area. So the dark rats have 2 base health, but we're on level 2, so they get 4 health. No attack, no armor. They're worth 1 favor. And when you defeat a dark rat, you gain 1 food. Yummy. Cool, dude. So when we beat these dudes, we can get food. So they are not undead, so our Cutlass is going to do +1. So I'm only going to spend 1 energy to get 3 extra, plus the 1 from the Cutlass is 4. We just need to not roll doubles. And we didn't. So 5 minus 1 is 4, plus the 4 is 8. We destroyed this dark rat. Holy moly, dude. So we gained 1 favor right there. And we gained a food, which is incredible. Right there, dude. Awesome. And there's also a campsite. I am going to rest. So I'm going to gain 2 health, putting us up to 10, and 1 energy, putting us up to 6. Next is a clearing. There's another camp. Dude, we're going. We're getting all the campsites, bros. Let's go. What's in here? We got a random encounter with the Grove. Okay, so we found a location in the clearing. It is the Grove. It says, you may search the Grove for mushrooms. Each mushroom found equals 1 food. Roll a die to see how many you find. Okay, so let's go ahead and roll 6-sided die here. We got 3. We find 1 mushroom. Cool, so we find 1 food right there, putting us up to 3. Also, you can spend a food at any point to gain either 1 health or 1 energy. Forgot to mention that earlier too, so that's another thing that you can do. All right, guys. Let's see here. Then we've got the camp. Do I want to gain food? I have a good bit of life. I do need more energy, though. We're getting kind of low on energy. So let's go ahead and rest at the camp. We get 13 health, so you can never go above your max health or energy. So 13 is our max. So we're up to 12 since we gained 2 here. And then we gain 1 energy, and 11 is our max energy. So we're looking good so far. All right, the chasm, I don't want to fight that. Let's skip. And we're going into the sanctum. Ooh, there's a trap, a 2 energy trap. Yikes, that sucks. So we're down to 5. And then we're fighting a wraith. So we're fighting another wraith right here. He's going to have 7 health since we're on level 2. And I think I'm going to spend 1, 2. I'm going to spend 3, guys. And I'm going to add 6 to my roll. He's got no armor. The Cutlass isn't working because he's undead. We got 5 minus 2 is 3 plus 6 is 9 damage. So we took down the wraith. We gained 2 favor. 1, 2. And that's it. Yeah, that was all that was in the room. A trap and an enemy. In the quarters, there is a chest. Let's go there. So we're going to go to the quarters. We're going to fight an enemy in the form of a random enemy. And then we're going to get a random loot. So no shards yet, guys. This is not looking too good. We are on level 2, though. So we're still fairly early in the dungeon, but we're getting pretty close to the end of level 2. And we haven't found any shards. The enemy we're fighting is a possessor. Dudes, let's go. So check this out, guys. The possessor has 6 base health, but we're on level 2, so he's getting 2 more, so he's at 8. Pretty tough. He does 1 extra damage. He's got 1 shield, or armor rather. He gives us 2 favor, but check this out. When you defeat a possessor, you gain a shard. So if we beat this dude, we're going to gain one of our 3 shards that we need to win the game. So we got to take this guy out. Unfortunately for us, though, we're really, really low on energy. So you know what I'm going to do? First of all, I'm going to pop this potion. And I'm going to give us a couple energy. So that is a trapping. So we don't get that back. That does not go into the loot deck. That is removed from the game. So we're going to gain the 1 health, since 13 is our max health. But we are going to gain 2 energy. And I think I'm going to eat a food and gain another energy, putting us up to 5. And what I'm going to do is spend 1, 2, 3. Do I want to spend 3? Yeah, I'm going to spend 3, which gives us 6 plus the 1 from the cutlass since he's not undead. So we get plus 7 to our roll here, guys. And we rolled 3 minus 1 is 2, plus a 7 is 9. We have defeated the Possessor in one hit. I am glad that I spent the extra right there. So we get a shard, dude, and we also get 2 favors. So we go up to 10, and boom, check it out, dudes. Bam, right there. We get our first shard on our Crawling Skullkeeper. Let's go. Give me that Possessor skull, bro. Very, very nice stuff there. All right. And then we also get a loot in the form of a random loot right there. So let's shuffle up the loot deck. And we're going to draw one out. Let's go with this one, say. It's a ring. Let's see what this does. So the ring says, once per dungeon level, you may spend 1 favor to avoid combat with an enemy. Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. Okay. And you know what? I forgot about the Crawling's ability. Once per dungeon level while in combat, the Crawling may flip a single die to the reverse side when determining damage. I got to remember that. I got to remember to do that because that could come in handy. That could save our lives right there. Okay, cool. So the ring, once per dungeon level, we can spend 1 favor to avoid combat with an enemy. That's really, really powerful. Okay, cool. That was a good room to go in. Wow, we got a shard and we got a really powerful magic ring from in there. Okay, the waterfall. I think I'm going to skip the waterfall. And we're going into the sewers. Ooh, we're going to lose 1 health on that trap right there. There's a campsite. I'm going to use that to rest. So I'm going to gain 1 health. I'm going to gain 1 energy. And we could search for food. And we do not find any. Man, we can't find any food lately with those water drops. Okay, that is the end of level 2, guys. So we're going to move our little meeple to level 3. We're going to eat a ration. We're going to shuffle up the dungeon deck, and we're moving into level 3. I'm feeling a little bit better now that we at least found the 1 shard. Because I was feeling a little bit nervous there when we didn't find any at first. There we go. The old well, I'm going to skip it. And we're going into the statue room where there's a trap that does 2 damage to us. And the loot is empty. Ah, the chest is empty. The Lost Tomb, there is a chest. Let's go for it. We're going to go into the Lost Tomb. We're going to have to fight some stuff, though. So we got dark rats in here. Let's go ahead and find the dark rats right there. So they've got 2 health plus 3 since we're in dungeon level 3. So they have 5 health. We get to attack first. I am going to spend 1 energy. So we do 3 plus the 1 from our cutlass since they're not undead. So we're doing 4 damage. He's got no armor. And 4 minus 3 is 1, plus the 4 is 5, and that is just enough to take down the dark rats. We get 1 favor, putting us up to 11. And when you kill the dark rats, you gain 1 food. So there we are at 2. There's also a trap in here which deals 0, and there is a loot, a shard. Dude, let's go, man. We found our 2nd shard, dude. It's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good so far. All right. The corridor, there's a trap in a random event. I'm going to skip that, and we're moving into the grotto where there is a random event. The grove, okay. So we found another mushroom grove here. Let's go ahead and roll a die. We rolled 4, so we find a mushroom. So we get 1 more food. Nice, just like last time. And there's a water drop, so we get to look for food. And we rolled a 4, we didn't get any. And there's a campsite. I'm going to use that to rest. So I'm going to heal up 2, back to full health, and we get 1 energy. So we're sitting on 3 energy. We are still pretty low on energy. All right, next one is the kitchen. Ooh, there's a campsite. We could gain more energy in there. So let's go. Let's go to the campsite. There's a wraith. Do we want to avoid the wraith? I think I'm going to use my ring. Once per dungeon level, you may spend a favor to avoid combat with an enemy. So we're going to do that. We'll move down to 10. I'll tap the ring sideways to show that we've used it for this level of the dungeon. And we're going to avoid that conflict with the wraith. And then there's the campsite. We're going to use that to gain 1 energy by resting. All right, moving on. The chasm, I'm going to skip the chasm, and we're going into the catacombs where there is a wraith, dude. The wraith just followed us down the hall. He's like, no, you're not getting away that easy, dude. Where do you think you're going? Get back here. All right, so the wraith is going to chase us down. He's got 5 health plus the 3 from the level that we're on, so he's got 8 health. Yikes. And every time he attacks, we lose 1 favor. Or every time he damages us, we lose 1 favor. What do we do here? He's got 8 health. I think I'm going to spend 3. 1, 2, 3. He's undead, so the cutlass doesn't work. So we're doing plus 6. He's got no armor. So plus 6 to our roll here, guys. 5 minus 4 is 1, plus the 6 is 7. So he is down to 1 health. We almost took him out. He's going to get to retaliate. He's got 1 extra damage on his attack. He does 5 minus 4 is 1, plus the 1 is 2 damage, moving us down to 11. And we'll use our punch attack to go ahead and hit him for 1 damage to finish him off. We're going to gain 2 favor, moving us up to 12. And then there's a random event in here, and it is a Skelipede. Yikes. So there's another fight to be had in the catacombs with a Skelipede. He's got 3 base health plus 3 from the level. He's got 6 health. He's got 1 shield, no extra damage, and he rerolls doubles whenever he attacks because Skelipedes never miss. I'm down to 1. Let's go ahead and eat a ration to gain an energy. He's got 6 health. He's undead, so the cutlass doesn't help us. I'm going to spend 2, so we have no energy left. This is getting really dicey here, dudes. No pun intended. And I'm going to go ahead and roll. We're getting plus 4 minus 1, so plus 3. Yee. And 2 minus 1 is 1, plus the 3 is 4 damage. Okay, so we did 4 damage to him, so he moves down to 2 health. He is going to retaliate. He does 6 minus 4 is 2 damage to us, so we're on 9. I have no energy, so I have no choice but to just punch him for 1. He's on 1 health. He's going to attack again. Ooh, he misses because he rolls doubles, and then we'll punch him 1 more time. I find it funny, we're just punching the Skelipede to finish him off. We get 1 favor, and that is it. Man, the catacombs was a grueling area, dudes. That was tough. I'm going to skip the waterfall. We're going to go down into the dingy sewers here, and let's see what's lurking down in the sewers. There's a trap that's going to do 1 damage to us. There is a campsite. Cool. So we're going to use that to rest. And I'm going to gain 2 health and 1 much needed energy. And we can search for food 1 time, baby. Nope, we did not find it. I think we're 1 for like 6 so far when searching for food this round, but it's all good, dudes. Now the Sanctum, a trap and an enemy. Nah, I think I'm going to skip that, right? I'm going to skip that. We're going to go into the clearing where there is a random event with a Doom Skull. Uh-oh. The Doom Skull always attacks first. He's got 4 base health, plus 3 is 7. He's got no extra attack, no armor. He's going to give 1 favor, and they always attack first. So here we go. Let's see what he does here. 3 minus 2 is 1. Nothing. Measly little damage. I mean, not nothing. It's 1, but, it's basically nothing. Now we're going to retaliate. I've only got the 1 energy. I could eat 1 to gain another energy and spend it. So that's going to be 4. Yep, so we're going to add 4 damage. He's got 7. We got to really get a good hit here. And we get 4 minus 3 is 1, plus the 4 is 5 damage, putting him down to 2. Yikes, this is tough, man. We need energy, dudes. He's going to retaliate. 5 minus 4 is only 1 damage. We're going to punch him. We're punching this dude. Whip out the boxing gloves. He's coming back for more. He does 2 damage to us. 4 minus 2 is 2. We're down to 6 health, and we're going to punch him to finish him off. Dude, we're just punching everybody. We gain 1 favor. We're at 14. We're almost at maximum favor over here. And then there is a campsite. So we're going to go ahead and rest. We're going to gain 2 health, go up to 8, gain 1, and go to 1 energy right there. And that's the end of level 3 of the dungeon, which means we need to move into level 4 with our little meeple. We have to eat our last ration, so we have no food. And then we're going to shuffle up the dungeon deck. Dudes, this is so close, man. We just need 1 more shard. We've got that 1 last shard right there. And victory is ours, but we are very low on energy. We only have 1 energy, we have no rations left, and we're at about half health at 8 life over here. And let's see what we got. We've got the sewers, so there's a trap, there is a campsite and food. We do need that. Let's go. Let's go back into the sewers again. So on level 4, heading into the sewers, there's a trap that's going to do 1 damage to us, putting us at 7. But then we're going to rest at the campsite, gaining 1 energy and 2 health. So we're at 9 health, 2 energy, and then we could search for food. Come on, dude. 1. We don't find any. The Lost Tomb, there's loot in there. Ooh, but there's also an enemy, and we have like no energy left. We're going to have to skip it and hope we don't run into any enemies. And we ran into the stash. And we get a random loot card right here. So let's shuffle these up and see what we get. We get, bam. Ooh, a potion, dude. Amazing. I'm drinking it immediately. We're going to heal 2 health and 2 energy. Immediately chugging that potion. So we go to 11 and 4 energy right there. Amazing. Very, very cool stuff. All right. Moving on. Let's see. The old well. We'd have to fight. I don't really want to fight. It is tempting to try to get food, but we've been fairly unlucky. I'm going to skip it. Ooh, into the Sanctum. That's worse. A 2 health trap. I don't like that. There goes our potion. And there is a watcher in this room. So let's go ahead and grab the watcher here. I think this is his first appearance so far in this run. He's got 4 base health. We're on level 4, so he's got 8 health. He does 1 extra damage, 1 armor. This dude's pretty tough. He gives 2 favor. He is not undead, so our cutlass is going to do wonders on him. And it says you lose 1 energy before combat begins when fighting a watcher. So right off the bat, he just drains our energy just being in his presence. Yikes. Okay, he's got 8 health. Dude, I'm going to suspend all 3. I'm spending all 3 energy. We're getting +6. We're getting +1 from the cutlass. But then he mitigates 1, so we're doing +6. Right here, dudes. Let's take this guy out. Bam, there we go. 6 minus 2 is 4, +6, 10 damage. Whopped on that dude. We gained 2 favor, but we only gained 1 since we're maxed out at 15 right there. And that is it. That is the end of the Sanctum room. Now we can move into the corridor. There's a trap and a random. I don't want to do that. I'm going to skip it. And we're going to move into... Ooh, did I do that backwards? No, I did that right. Okay, we're going to move into the catacombs. There's a spider in there. All right. Let's go ahead and grab the spider enemy. He's going to have 7 total health here on level 4. And we've got no energy. This sucks, dude. And we've got no food. Dude, this really sucks. Oh, we get our ring back, though. You know what? I might use the ring. Yeah, I'm going to use the ring and spend a favor to avoid this conflict since we're on level 4 because we can do that once per level. All right. We desperately needed that. So moving on from that, there's a random event in here, and it is the Grove. There we go. We got the Grove. I'm going to go ahead and roll a die. We get a 3. We find nothing. Oh, no, we find 1 mushroom. Okay, nice. So we do find some food. Desperately, desperately needed that. Now we can go into the quarters. There is loot in there, but there's also an enemy. Dude, that we're getting in a pickle here, dude. We need energy. We need energy big time. If there was a potion as the loot, that would be really good, but I don't know how we're going to defeat the enemy with no energy. We could eat our food and get 1 energy, but that still only gives me +3 to my damage if I attack. Yeah, I'm going to skip it. I'm going to skip the quarters, and we're going to go, into the chasm, and we're fighting a wraith. Dude, this isn't good. This is not good, guys. Uh-oh. We're fighting a wraith. He's got 5 + 4. He's got 9 health, dudes. And whenever he hits us, we lose 1 favor. He does 1 extra damage. No armor, though. We're going to have to eat our last ration, unfortunately, to gain an energy and then spend it to do as much as we possibly can. Our cutlass isn't going to do anything. So we're doing +3 damage. We need a good roll right here, dudes. 6 minus 4 is 2 + 3 is 5. So he goes down to 4 health. Dude, we're going to have to punch this dude down for 4 turns. This might be the end of the line here, guys. Let's see. The Wraith is going to attack. He's going to do +1 damage. 6 minus 4 is 2 + 1 is 3. So we go down to 6. We're going to punch him for 1. This is not looking good, guys. Not looking good. I wonder if we should have fought the spider and saved the ring for something more difficult like this Wraith. He's going to retaliate. 3 minus 2 is 1. +1 is 2 damage. We're down to 4. We're going to punch him. We are cutting it super close here, guys. 5 minus 4 is 1. +1 is 2. Uh-oh. We're going to punch him, and we need him to miss. We need him to miss because he's doing 1 base damage, which will bring us down to 1, and anything extra is going to kill us. We really, really need him to miss here. Okay. Ooh, that's 4. Now, we do have the Crawling's ability that once per level while in combat, we can flip a single die to the reverse side. What's on the other side of the 5? It's a 2. That's not going to help us. On the other side of the 1 is a 6. And either way, that wouldn't help. We could still do it just for funsies. And that does make the damage a little bit less, but it's still 6 minus 5 is 1. Plus the 1 means 2 damage to us. And that is it. We are dead. The Crawling didn't make it, dude. He got 2 of the shards, but he wasn't quite able to get there and get that final shard. That Wraith took us out on level 4. So there you go, guys. That was a playthrough of Tin Helm as a Crawling Skull Keeper. That was so cool, man. We got really, really, really close on that one. What a cool adventure. All right, guys. So if you enjoyed that playthrough of the game, be sure to hit the like button down below. If you're not already, be sure to subscribe, hit the red subscribe button, and click the bell icon so you can be notified every time I upload brand new videos. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this. If you want to go check out more content on my channel, feel free. I have the unboxing video for Tin Helm. I have a bunch of Iron Helm stuff, unboxings, unpackings of all of the Iron Helm content, as well as playthroughs of Iron Helm and unboxings of some other games too. So go check that stuff out if that sounds interesting to you guys, and we're definitely going to do more playthroughs of Tin Helm. Let me know if you have Tin Helm, if you're thinking about getting it, what you like about the game, maybe what you don't like about the game. honestly, I don't think there's anything not to like. This game is incredible. It's amazing, and it fits right here in this tiny little tin right here, dudes. How incredible is that? So, amazing game. Great stuff, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to catch all you guys in the next video. And until next time, everybody, have a good one. See you later.